Hello, let's do the New York Times Medium Sudoku for June 6th, 2024. And I do follow a systematic method to solving these, which is good as a teaching tool. But I can't go over all of the exact details of the method in every video because it ends up making the video 45 minutes to an hour long. And so I do have linked in the description a video where I did just that, and it is over an hour long. And so hopefully that will be helpful for you if I do anything here where you're a little bit confused about terminology or what the methodology is or how the logic works that I'm doing. I do try to give little reminders of how certain things work. And so hopefully that's enough if you have watched that video or watched a bunch of my videos. So anyway, I do like to give that disclaimer at the start of all of these because I'm always getting new people watching these videos trying to find help on how to solve Sudoku in general or how to solve this specific Sudoku. So anyway, there is a link in the description to solve the puzzle yourself using the same Sudoku pad software that I do, which I think is superior for its dual notation, among other reasons. And yeah, so I'm going to get started right now. All right, so the way we start is we're going band by band, and we look for repeated digits. I call them buddies. So I'm going to start with, we start with the box with the fewest givens in it. We have a choice between box 1 and 2. I'm just going to choose box 1. And so we have two ones here that look into this box. We look down here to see if there's any ones helping out. There aren't. And so we can just corner mark ones in one of these two cells, meaning that within this box, the one's going to be here or here. That's what the corner marks always mean. It's box centric. We also have 2, which has a buddy here. Now those 2s, again, no 2 helping out down here. We can corner mark the 2s down here. Now, when you get overlapping corner marks like this, it's 2 corner marks overlapping in 2 cells, and they aren't in any other cells in the box. What we have here is called a hidden pair. Because if you look, the 1 and the 2, if taken together, cannot go in any of these cells. So there are only 2 cells remaining in the box that could be 1 or 2 at all. There are no other cells that can be 1. There are no other cells that can be 2. Just these 2. It's the same 2 for each. And so what that means is the 1 is going to end up in one of these and the 2 is going to end up in the other. And so that's called a hidden pair because what we can do is we can center mark the 1, 2 there now, which means I don't need the corner marks anymore. And center marks tell us that this cell, the solution to the puzzle in this cell will be a 1 or a 2. And same here, this will be a 1 or a 2. Meaning it can't be anything else that we thought could have been there. So for example, there's no reason to think that this cell couldn't be a 3. If I could even fill a 3 here, it doesn't turn red. I could have a 3 in the box. I could have a 3 in the row. I could have a 3 in the column. I don't have a 3 in the column, sorry. Don't have it in the box, row, or column. So there's no immediate conflict by Sudoku rules. However, if I do try to put a 3 here, then where am I going to put the 1 in this box? Well, it's going to have to go here. And now where am I going to put the 2 in this box? The answer is nowhere. And since I can't put a 2 in the box will end up without a 2. And that means the puzzle's broken. So we've broken the puzzle. We just haven't, without noticing that hidden pair, we haven't really seen where that contradiction is going to happen. But I guarantee you there would be a contradiction at some point. All right. So that's what the hidden pair does. It removes other digits from those cells. Cool. So that was the 1, that was the 2. Nobody for the 7. Now we look at the 4, 6, and 9. We just have to look at this box over here because we've already compared this box against the other 2. The 4 does have a buddy along with this 4. And now we can just place the 4 in this box because there's only one spot for it. So it better go there. Only one cell that can be 4. So it's a hidden single 4. We also look at the 6 and the 9. The 6 does have a buddy as well. This 6 looks up, helping out, putting a 6 in one of these 2. All right, and that's it for buddies. The next thing we look for in a band is a filled box row. Now, I would consider this to be a filled box row because we know that it's going to, according to the row, it's going to be 1, 2, 4. And we don't really care how the 1 and the 2 resolve. It's going to be 1, 2, 4 only. So we can look at these digits here. We don't care about empty cells, and we don't care about digits that are already in the box. So we know 1 and 2 and 4 are in the box, and also the 6 is in the box. So 7 is the only one remaining. So we take this 7, we see how it affects the box. These aren't 7, and notice these also aren't 7, because the hidden 1, 2 pair removed 7 as an option from this cell here. We also have this and this cell, but we also had this 7 here taking 7 out, so that might be a little strange to say that 7 was removed from a cell that already couldn't be 7. But anyway, the 7 also helps out by looking up this way. And so that means 7 in this box is in one of these 2. Whenever you find it this way, where it's a filled box row, you get pointing. You either get a hidden single or you get pointing. So these 7s point. What that means is that within this box, we have limited the 7 to one of these 2 cells. And no matter where the 7 ends up, it will end up in row 1. And since row 1 can only have a single 7 in it, that means the rest of the row will not be 7. So importantly, these aren't 7. And this 7 looks in making these not 7. This 7 looks up. And that puts a 7 into one of these 2 cells. All right, very nice. So that's it for filled box rows, no other filled box rows. Now we want to look for rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer open cells. Now I can see that this row is down to 3, so we definitely want to think about it. First, we just think about what digits remain. So we need a 3, 5, and 8. So we're looking for 3s, 5s, and 8s in various locations in these columns and in the boxes. The only thing I'm seeing is this 3 here. But because these are down to 3 or fewer, it is worth just marking them anyway. But it's good to think first. Think about what you're doing before you mark it. We want to mark what we've learned. We don't want to mark in order to learn. Because if we learn first, then that's easier to remember and it's easier to sort of think about what the logic is. If you mark and then clean up, that's kind of more rote and you're not going to notice things as easily because you have to rescan what you just marked. And that's prone to mistakes. So I like to think first. That's my style. You're welcome to do it a different way. All right, so 3, 5, 8 is left. This can't be 3. That's really all we get out of that. This box is down to 4 open cells. You might say, well, aren't these open? Well, just like when we did before, the box does not care how this 1, 2 resolves. It's going to resolve as 1, 2 in some order. And so we consider that filled. And so there's only 4 digits remaining, excuse me, for these 4 cells. So we want to think about what those are. And we know this cell already, we know this cell can be marked up. We only center mark 3 or fewer digits in a cell just by convention because we're not really looking for anything that's going to involve a cell with 4 or more possible digits in these puzzles. And so we know that there's 4 remaining digits and this one's not 7. So it's not one of them at least, which means it's down to 3 or fewer. But we want to think first. So what are the 4 digits that need to go in these 4 cells? Well, the 3 is one of them. And if you notice, this 3 looking up is telling us that 3 is only in one of these 2. And that does point. We want to see if the fact that these can't be 3 does anything useful, and it doesn't seem to, but they do point. And so we end up with 3, 5, 7, 8. I can see this can't be 7, which we know, so this is down to 3, 5, 8. And this can't be 3, so this is 5, 7, 8. And this cannot be 5, so this is 3, 7, 8. So they're markable, but barely. I've been saying they're remarkable, but not remarkable. All right, but might come in handy later. You never know. Okay, so I don't think there's any other rows or boxes worth marking up. So we spent a lot of time on this first band. In fact, we're already almost 7 minutes in. But we're going to move on to the next band now. I don't know where that 7 minutes went, to be honest. So we have this 2 here. No matches for that. We also have the 5, 7, 9. The 7's the only buddy. So I'm going to stop being so rigorous with what I'm talking about there, but for this band, I figure I would. Any no filled box rows, no rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer, we can move on. All right, so I'm looking for buddies here, and we just have the 6. Only the 6 has a buddy, but this 6 also helps out, and that places the 6 in this box. Anything else of note here? Not really, no. Okay, so now we're going to do this stack. So I'm going to start with this 2, 6, 9. We do have 2 2s here. What's a 2 in one of these 2? We also have the 4s looking down here. This 4 helps out. Places a 4 here. We want to follow up on this band. That 4 has a buddy. So it puts a 4 in one of these 2. I don't think there's any other follow-ups for it. So we did the 4, the 7. The 7s look down. This 7 looks in. So that places 7 in this box. The 7 does have a buddy. Puts a 7 in one of these 2. When I scanned up, I did notice that these 7s lined up, but then I noticed it's because we have a 7 here already. So looking for these lineups should be instinct if you want to find them all. And most of the time they end up, even if you find the lineup, it's because you already know where the other digit is. But sometimes you get claiming, and when you do, that's super important to find. So it's the kind of thing that you're just always on the lookout for. All right, so we did the 7. There's nothing for the 8. So that's all the duplicates for the stack. Any columns or boxes down to 4 or fewer? I'm going to start with this box, which is down to 4. We need a 1. We need a 3. I'm already noticing that the 3 can't be here. So we end up with a 3 in one of these 2. And that is going to point, taking 3 out of here. This 3 looks over. And we get another hidden pair here. This is a 3-4 hidden pair. That affects the row, leaving just a pair behind. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 and 8. It's not resolved, but we can fill the 5-8 pair there. Nice, okay. So other than the 3, we needed a 1. So 1, 3, 5, and 8. 1, 3, 5, 8. I'm going to fill all of these because I think they all see something. Do they? Maybe not this one. All right, well, I'm going to fill it. 1, 3, 5, 8. Yeah, so this sees the 1. These see the 3. This sees the 8. And this didn't see anything. So I'm going to clear that out. All right. Looking for things to do. I'm noticing the 3, 5, 8's match. So that's potential for a triple. I don't think there is one right now. The other thing I noticed is this 5-8 pair did reduce this box to 4 or fewer. So we do want to take a look at that. So what's left is 1, 2, 7, 9. These bottom ones aren't 7, so we can already put 1, 2, 9 here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was like, where's the 9 coming from? It's actually 2 different 9s looking down here. Right, so these can't be 9 either. So that's a 1, 2 pair. That's huge because these aren't 7 or 9. So the 7, 9 go up here, and those are resolved. That's 7, that's 9. That resolves the 7 in this box based on our corner marks. Very nice. But in addition to that, this 1, 2 pair resolves the 5 and the 8 here, which resolves the 3 and the 1. That's great. Okay, so now we get a 5, 8 pair here. That places the 3. We got a lot of following up to do, 4 and 3 here. We're just going to finish off this band here. So this digit is a 9, and then this is going to be a triple. We need a 2. Oh, the 2 is placed because of these 2 2s. This is why we think first. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 and 8. I'm not seeing anything for 5, 8, so we'll just mark that up. Okay, so this band is basically done. We just have some horizontal pairs left, and it's all horizontal stuff. You can basically call the band done. All right, now vertically here, we filled this box up. So anything that is in one of these boxes but not the other is going to find a buddy, and it's going to be helpful. So the 8, for example, these 8s look up. Putting an 8 in one of these two. The 7 is on all 3. The 4 is on all 3. We have the 1. Okay, these 2 1s look down. Putting a 1 in one of these 2. And so we did the 2 as well. Okay, we did the 2. Okay. So anything else here? Yeah, this column is down to 3 open cells. So we need the 1, which we know is here. We need a 3, which can be anywhere. And we need a 9, which can be anywhere. Okay. So not super helpful. This column is down to 4 digits. I was looking at how the 6s are marked here, which means this can't be 6. It also can't be 2. So I think this is going to be helpful at the very least. So the 2 is down here. We need a 3 as well, which can go anywhere. We have the 4. We need a 5, which can go anywhere. And then we need a 6, which can go in these 3. Okay, so these actually aren't worth marking. But this is down to 3, 5, and that actually creates a 3, 5, 8 triple here, meaning that there's a digit we haven't accounted for, which is the 9. So the 9 can't go here or here, so this is the place to 9. Very nice. That leaves a triple behind here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5, 7, 8. I'm just going to mark that up, 5, 7, 8. So that 5, 7, 8 triple affects this row, meaning this can't be 5 and this can't be 8. And so that places the 8 here, placing the 5. That places this 5 for this row. All right, so this is 3, 6, 9, not 3, so only 6, 9. And so the 9, no, sorry, that doesn't do anything. I think that's all we get for the, yeah, this band is basically done, but this 5 does look down, resolving the 5, 8 pair here. All right, looking at this more, this is down to 2, 3, 6, so we can mark that. And this is down to 6, whoa, what'd I miss? 5, 6, 9. So the 5 in this column can only go here because we have this 5. This is down to 6, 9. All right, really good stuff. I think we're almost done with the puzzle. We do have a 1, 2 pair here, which means this is the 3, 8 that's remaining. It's not resolved though. We could look for duplicates, but these are just markable, so I think that's going to be better at this point. 1, 2, 3, 8. This can't be 8, so this is 1, 2, 3. This can be any of those. I may want to just double check that there's not anything looking into this box that's helpful. This 8, for example, looking in, right? So we can see that 8 is in only one of these two. That is going to point along with this 8. putting an 8 up here, which surprisingly is not resolved. All right, let's just, so this was 1, 2, 3, 8. These are 1, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 4, 6. This can't be 2 or 4, so this is 1, 6 only. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on there, actually. The 3 looking up puts a 3 here. 7, 5. Okay, I'm going to move on. Let's do this stack here. Let's actually look for duplicates. So we have 2 6s looking in here. So there's a 6 in one of these 3. We have 2 1s looking in here. So there's a 1 over here. I really feel like we should be able to just finish this puzzle. So 1, 2, we have the 3s looking in. I'm looking for something that's resolved. We have the 4s looking in. This 4 helps. What's a 4 here? Okay, and then we have 6s. We already have those 6s marked, and then 9s. We did not mark the 9s. Okay. So did I find something vertically here? The 4s are here, the 6s are here, and the 9s are here. Yeah, this is a 4, 6, 9. Right, I could have seen that from the column, because we have this 5, 8 pair here. So this is 4, 6, 9. Which cleans up a little bit, which means I can remove all the corner marks here, including this 8 corner mark, because the 5, 8 pair means this couldn't actually be 8. So that places the 8 here, which gets rid of that 8. I'm sorry I missed that earlier. We're down to 1, 5, 7 here. I'm just going to mark that. This can't be 5, that can't be 7. And then this is, these can't be 1. So these are 3, 5, 7. Cleans up in a similar way. So the 5 is in one of these two. I guess there's really not point in having these corner marks here because the way the center marks work. So we still haven't resolved it. We did make a 6, 9 pair in this row though. So when I marked this, yeah, there's a reason I looked horizontally here at this point because I had a bunch of buy values. We want to look for pairs. We have this 6, 9 pair here that places the 1 and the 3. And I think that resolves everything. We get the 9, 6, and 3. Get the 2 and the 1. We get our 9 here. We get our 6, 4, and 9. This is our 1. We get the 7, 3, 5, and 1. We get 5, 8, and 7. We get 8 and 5. 2 and 1. We get our 8 here. 3 and 8 here. I'm not even going to bother cleaning up. What do we need in this box? We need a 2. We need a 3. So 2 and 3 go here. Yeah, this is 4, and yeah, so the 4 goes here. What's the other digit? 6, I think, which gives us the 2 and the 6, gives us the 3 and the 2, and we're done. All right, cool. What do we have to say about this puzzle? We found a lot in the top band right away, and then the next 2 bands didn't do a whole lot, but then doing this stack was extremely helpful. So the combination of this band and this stack, I think, were the most helpful parts. And then there were some random like pairs, maybe, I don't think there was a triple, but there were some random pairs that were interesting, some hidden pairs as well that were interesting. So some good practice for that. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.